What it do?
What's up, y'all? Hey, we on Facebook today, so we finna get it cracking. This is the Straight Talk Podcast with fella on the car phone. Next to me is Rev. Ro, how you doing today, Rev?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
But yeah, man, it's Thursday, so time for some straight talk.
Survey said.
Straight talk.
Let's get into the show, man.
We gotta get into the show, get into this thing. Uh-oh. Gotta turn that down. Hold on. Yep. You heard that
You just
again.
hit the mute button.
Because I like to turn it down. Just in case I don't know. Whatever. Oh.
To get it started, this podcast is brought to you by none other than Michelob Ultra.
No doubt. You know how we
Sid.
always start the show. It is question of the day. Of course,
Yes,
it's a
sir.
segment of the podcast where I like to ask the buddy to the left of me a question and give him a grade on this answer. So
Completely subjective, though.
completely subjective. I ain't did this in a while, so please don't get upset. Don't get upset when I give you a 0 when you feel like you deserve the 100%.
Damn. Straight
So
to the 0.
question of the day today is, a couple of days ago, Kyle Lowry was in the news.
Oh,
Kyle Thickums Lowry. Pause.
Thicker than cold gravy. What's you say about Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry was in the
Yeah,
news
no.
because he's apparently potentially going to be in a trade. It may be a good idea for Toronto to think about trading him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the end of his contract. It's last year. They not looking to playoff. They make the playoffs. They
right
broke
now.
500. They're not looking to
So I was wrong about that.
title
We were wrong about
contenderish.
that. Yeah.
Title contenderish, and it's still up in there. They can go on a losing streak. Excuse me. He said that he's not kind of like the Russell Wilson situation in football that happened today. But he in his report he said that he's not demanding a trade. But if he was to be traded, he would like to go home to Philly,
Mm-hmm.
where he played college ball,
We didn't know about.
where he went to high school.
Mm-hmm.
So my question for you is, if that were to happen, what does that do for you? What does that change the Eastern outlook for you in the East Coast Conference, Eastern Conference?
Well, let me tell you. Josh. If you figure out who I am, I give you $1.
Charles,
I think the trade is terrible, Josh. It's terrible.
look, LeBron James.
Kyle Lowry got more hips than Dexter's mama on Dexter's lap. I just don't see. No, for real though, I think the Sixers could benefit from Kyle Lowry. First of all, at this point in his career, you can consider him a vet. He's an OG. He is an NBA champion. That's what the Sixers want to be. With the way that Joel Embiid has been playing this year, the way that Ben Simmons has been playing this year, taking those two, and don't leave out Seth Curry. You put Kyle Lowry at the 1 out there, because Kyle Lowry is a glue guy point guard. He can get the double-digit assists. He can go out for 30. He can also hardly score and still.
You see that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's gonna be crazy. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak coming out with an album.
Silk Sonic.
Yeah. Hey, that's gonna go
Next Friday?
crazy.
That's going to be hard.
That's
gonna be hard.
crazy. I can't wait for that. And I know you've been asking about Bruno Mars.
I low-key the other
And
day
then
was like,
Anderson
where is
.Paak
he
on
at?
top of that? Oh, my. Wow.
Bruno Pack
Breaking
going
news
crazy.
here. Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak coming out with an album next Friday? That's next Friday. That's hard.
Darius
That's
so
gonna go
dramatic.
crazy. All right, but anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. Get back to this. We back in straight talk. We breaking news live, and you know how we do.
No, we breaking.
No, we not. We not doing
I didn't
that.
even explain that. We just gonna leave it alone. I think Kyle Lowry could be a great addition to what that team has been bringing on the court this year. Putting Kyle Lowry in there in the mix with Tobias, Joel, Ben Simmons. Like I said, Kyle isn't the type of guard that's always going to have to go off for 30 like a Steph or the occasional Russ book bag or Dame book bag. He can not score and still be super effective in that game with his defense, with his communication on the floor. He sacrifices his body on the defensive end, getting charges and things like that.
What he sacrifice?
His body. He's getting a whole lot. Jams. He can hopefully lead them to a hit chip. I think having him in the center of like all of those guys. Tobias has been amazing this year. You know, Joel is my MVP. Ben Simmons is quietly having a really amazing season. Seth Curry is out there 50-50, 100 for the year.
Seth Curry is having an amazing season.
You know, so you give him all of these weapons, and this is a vet point guard who's a former champion. His team ain't looking like they're going to make it to the championship. Philly has been borderline contender for 3 or 4 years, and they just need something. And every year it feels like they get a little closer. Maybe Kyle Lowry can finally be the piece to get them past the second round and maybe get them into the finals. I could definitely see them, if they get Kyle Lowry, I can definitely see them making Eastern Conference Finals, depending on what matchups they get, of course. But I could see that their ceiling is for sure Eastern Conference Finals. Finals is tough because you got Brooklyn out there, but ain't no way in hell they don't make the Eastern Conference Finals to me if the matchups line up right, if you add Kyle Lowry to that mix.
Okay.
So I think it could be super beneficial for both sides.
I'm going to give you 100%, but the 2 zeros are the peach emoji. 100% with the peach emoji and the 2 zeros.
So you gave me one set of cheeks?
Yeah. We reach you.
It's straight talk uncut tonight, y'all. Welcome to the show.
We're going down a deep dark path. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is that I think he will provide a shot maker, clutch time shot maker, because he's proven to do that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He did it last year in the bubble, and then he definitely did it when they won the championship 2 years ago. So that's why he would make them a better team, because they really don't got that. They don't have that shot maker right now. Embiid, I don't really trust. Maybe not. Don't get me wrong. Crunch time, I don't trust. I would prefer Kyle Lowry with the ball in crunch time.
Didn't he
He did, but he did it in the playoffs. It's a different breed. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm saying I haven't seen it.
I see what you're saying.
Other than, even if you say you got, okay, I give you Embiid. Other than that, it's like, who else they got?
Okay, no, that's fair. I'll give you that.
So he would provide that for sure, and then it would be kind of tough. That's gonna be interesting.
I'd actually really like to see that.
Yeah,
I'd really like to see that. I appreciate you giving me a fair grade today, OG. I appreciate that.
I always
But
give fair grades.
I think it's time to get into the W.
We talking.
You know the team overview starts today, but before we get to the team overview, let me grab my handy dandy technological device. Grab me that phone. But sir, you already grabbed me that phone. I want to talk about let me pull it back up, yo. I want to talk about Jacki Gemelos, my bad, Gemelos. For those of you who might not be familiar with who she is, number 88 for the Washington Mystics. She got drafted back in 2012. Really a late draft pick in the 3rd round, but she tweeted something today that I thought was actually really cool. It was pretty touching to me. She tweeted let me pull up the tweet because of course my bookmark went away. She tweeted today a letter to myself that I wrote in the 4th grade. The WNBA started in 1996, only 2 years before I had this dream of being in that league. Thank you. The letter says, Dear Jack, hi Jack, I'm going to tell you about me. My favorite musical group is the Spice Girls. Spice Girls will always be my favorite no matter what. I am, she put 4'10". The doctor said I will be 6'3" when I grow up. I think that is way too tall. When I grow up, I want to be in the WNBA. I know I will like traveling all around the U.S. My favorite food is pepperoni pizza. I enjoyed writing my letter. Then she drew a nice little picture. She got some basketballs on the side, stuff like that, right? Mind you, the doctor was almost spot on. She about 6 foot even.
Which is crazy.
It must be nice because I was lied to. But anywho, yeah, for her to know in 4th grade, like I always like that to see stars write these letters about themselves. Or James Harden, they had that story. He wrote that note to his mama, "I'm gonna be a star." She gonna get up on the fridge and I look at him, So I just really thought that was cool. A nice little shout out to her. That's manifestation at its core. Big dreams as a child and then being able to live that out into your adulthood has got to be amazing. And then, that league at that point was very, very new.
Young.
And only, so young.
So young.
So young. And too young. So that league had barely been out and that was already her dream.
Yeah,
and she acknowledged, boy, I'm going to be hella tall. Let me go get some hoops. I wanna ball out. And
be a bucket.
And now she very much so is a bucket in the WNBA. So I just wanted to give her a quick shout out. That was really cool to me.
She deserves her roses. So shout out to Jacki Gemelos.
Holding it down for the who?
The
W.
And
Okay,
the
yeah,
W.
the Mystics too. Yeah, that's fair.
Holding it down.
Yeah, holding it down regardless.
Yeah.
Let's get into them team overviews though, man. We starting off this week with the Atlanta Dream.
A-Town.
Hold it down.
Yes, sir. So got the Atlanta Dream this week.
Sir.
We're going to try to do all 12 teams before the season starts. Should be easy. Because we have so much time, we might not do it every week, but we're going to do it so we can time capsule this. We can talk about it, and we'll try to give some predictions or whatever and see how they are when the season comes in the summertime.
Yeah.
But starting off with the Atlanta Dream, I just wanted to talk about the couple players that will be returning from last season. So their best player, they actually won't be returning the 2 best players from last season, but they'll return the best player from last season who led the team in scoring, got Chennedy Carter. So she was a rookie last year and averaged 17, basically 18 points.
Yeah, we're talking about her.
She only played 16 of the 22 games, so she struggled with injury, but she looks really promising. She got drafted 3rd overall. She's going to be returning. The other player that won't be returning is Benija.
Yeah.
Benija Laney. I forget who she signed with now.
She went to the New York Liberty.
Yeah,
she went to the Liberty.
They're retooling. And Benija, she was the comeback most improved player of the year last year.
Yeah, most improved. And she was right there with Carter.
Kennedy,
She was averaging 17 a game. So yeah, definitely you take a hit there losing that type of scoring.
So you could tell they're gonna be building this team around Chennedy. Again, rookie last year. She's probably I can see her being a 20-point game scorer. Yeah. She averaged 4 assists last year, but Benija averaged 4 last year as well. So I'm assuming that Chennedy is gonna be able to pick up on her assists. Maybe I would like to see her maybe like 5 or 6 assists a game.
Yeah.
But they also will be returning. The other 2 double-digit scorers last year are going to be Courtney and Elizabeth Williams, not related. So you could kind of tell that they were looking to build around these players. They also brought in Cheyenne Parker, who they signed from Chicago Sky.
Yeah, who's Chicago is. We talked about them. You might have to look out for them this year. We'll get to them, in about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, they brought her over from Chicago. They also got Yvonne Turner from the Phoenix Mercury. And Tiana Hawkins, who we just were talking about the Mystics. That's where she was playing originally. And Kayla Davis. It's their most recent signing.
Yeah.
So they adding a couple of pieces.
It's going to be interesting to see what I just lost her name. Cheyenne Parker is 6'4", so she's a big. Couple of that with Chennedy Carter. So Cheyenne Parker averaged 14 points last season. So you coupling that with now an up-and-coming young guard. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And like I said, they still have the Williams sisters who were able to get it done last year. Courtney Williams was their center, and she averaged 15 and 7. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that and with all these players that they do have. So they have a decent chance. They have a decent squad. They have the 3rd overall pick in the upcoming draft. 3rd overall pick in this year's draft, and I'm trying to see if it was them or somebody else that had a bunch of first-round picks. No, that's Dallas. Whose name? Chinity?
It's Benija.
Yeah, Benija.
Oh, Benija. Okay, I'm sorry. What I kept saying,
Benija.
Oh, okay. Benija.
They do need her, but
Benija.
that's not her name.
Benija.
But yeah,
Benija.
my fault.
But it was Benija. I'm sorry, Benija. So sorry, pronouncing your name wrong. So they have the Atlanta Dream has the 3rd overall pick, and I looked at the mock draft. They got the Dream drafting Dana Evans, which was, I don't know, she's another small guard. I think they already they got Chinity Carter.
Yeah.
And then I believe they have, let's see, who was also pretty good last year. I'm trying to think. Maybe it is they just have, they have Courtney Williams, who, again, was 26 years old. So I feel like they maybe could look towards another big or at least a forward.
Yeah. Round it out a little bit.
Yeah, but
and you don't think maybe they could work together?
They could probably work together.
Think they could gel?
I think maybe if they got another guard, because again, like you said, they brought in Cheyenne. They do have Elizabeth, who's already, so that's 2 bigs right there. And those are that's probably gonna be starting 5 next year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the draft pick. It's really hard to tell. This draft, unfortunately, doesn't have any name-breaking players.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the drafts in general, within this last year.
Well, no, you had Sabrina last year.
Well, no, last year for sure. I mean, like within the past calendar year, as far as the NBA and the WNBA, it's been kind of rough with the names, and then also the games that go along with it. It's kind of hard to call. Also, you do have to recognize Renee Montgomery, who had been in the league for 11 years.
Yeah, somebody that was looking forward to last season.
Yeah. She had been in the league 11 years, and she retired a couple weeks ago, like first week of February, second week of February. So they did lose Montgomery as well. So it'll probably be an interesting year for Atlanta, kind of figuring out their identity, bringing in these new players. You got a high draft pick, just figuring out, how do we mesh and move forward from here.
They went 7-15 last year. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, I think, with this team to make the playoffs, but I think they can improve. It's going to be interesting to see how Chinity does in her second season, like you said. In her first season, you averaged almost 18 points.
Yeah.
That's impressive. So if she can get up to 2022, that's a big jump. But it's going to be needed in order for them to at least, I think I can see this team going 500 next season.
Yeah, I think they can, they might be right there at the bottom of the playoff picture, sliding in. Because like you said, last year was a little rough for them. But they could improve this year, potentially. And then also, when we were talking about guards, forgot to mention they got Shatori Walker-Kimbrough. She's a 5'9" guard, so she's right there in the mix, too. Averaging 1 rebound, 1 assist. Almost 6 points, though. So they got a decent little guard tandem back there. Potentially drafting another guard, too. So, maybe it's time to kind of round out that front court.
Yeah, maybe the Dana Evans pick, she's from Louisville. She's averaging 22 points in college this season. So she can score.
Well, and looking actually at going back to Shatori over there in Poland right now, she's averaging 20 points, 3 boards, 7 assists in Euro play. And 18.7 points over 7 ELBK League games. So
she's a 3-point shooter.
Hopefully, she brings that same energy over to the W. Because, looking at the averages, you like 5-6 points.
That's a fine. I think that was kind of a fine of a pick, like a signer, founder kind of thing.
So hopefully she come back over to the States when it's time for the season to start up, and she dropping buckets like she doing to them over in Poland, because clearly she's snapping over there. And then if you bringing in the young Lady Davis as well, and they both coming in getting a little good rhythm, Atlanta might find themselves in a decent situation this year.
We'll see. I actually noticed that they're actually kind of an older team too.
You said no. Jerry don't have faith. I mean, if you got if this little stable of guards you got back there can figure out how to start getting them hoops off,
they gotta. I think they gotta.
You can only get better from here. 7-15, you can
have,
definitely get better.
They're gonna have to get younger.
Yeah, they got some vets on that team for sure.
Yeah. So they got a slightly older team. So to be losing like that, the team's kind of old.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I said, I think if
maybe
optimistic, 500 is optimistic for them.
I would say 7-15 last year, so we might see them at 10 and 12.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have more games than 22. I think this season.
Well, yeah, because they might get shortened a little bit. Yeah, true. Right about 500. They definitely have more than 20 games. I forgot all about the COVID year. But yeah, I think they can get better than they were last year for sure.
We'll see. I think the biggest news for them this season is going to be what happens with the ownership.
Yeah,
that's still probably the primary focus of this team. Actually, shout out to we didn't mention it. Shout out to Atlanta Dream. They saved the Democrats in the election with the whole Raphael Warnock.
It was on their head.
Put him basically into the Senate themselves.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for doing that. But I think that the big thing for them this season is going to be the ownership, seeing how that goes down. If old girl is going to sell it.
You gonna be respectful this week?
I'll be respectful this week.
Okay. No spray?
No, we don't need spray.
Appreciate that.
She lost, so.
That's really gonna wrap up this week's overview. If like we always talk about, if you're not really familiar with the W, we're trying to work on talking about it more and also helping y'all get a little bit more familiar with it. That's one team down, 11 teams to go. Next week we talking about the Chicago Sky. So swoop back through to check that out for sure. Chicago got busy over this offseason.
Yeah, they did.
They got busy. So we're going to take it on over to the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these all-star reserves, man. What you thinking?
So I think, per usual, they got it wrong.
Who do you think they
missed?
Well,
they definitely missed Devin Booker.
I think the fact that let's talk about
it. They missed Devin Booker.
Why did you even put Anthony Davis in? This year, he has not been an all-star. He hasn't really had that great of a season. Let's be honest. And then the man is injured, so what was even the point in giving it to him?
Are you sure he shouldn't be an all-star this year?
He was having some really bad games this year. He just wasn't looking the same.
Still Anthony Davis.
Okay.
He still averaged, 22 points, 8 boards.
Averages are cumulative, though. If you look at these games, Anthony Davis has had some rough games.
We got to talk cumulative. That's what the all-star voting is. It's about how they doing this season, halfway through the season.
I'm just saying, it's easy. It's the same as last year. If you look at James Harden's scoring average, he was averaging 30 points. But the midpoint of January through February, he was shooting tour dates. Russ was carrying that team, but he had so many 40-point games early that he was averaging 30 points.
But if
you was watching these games, the month of January and February, he wasn't playing like that.
But he was still an all-star.
All I'm saying is the averages don't really speak for how somebody's actually playing.
But he was still
okay, whatever. I don't think Anthony Davis deserved to even get it.
He deserved to get it. He's still he's still probably one of the best players on the best team in the league. So it's hard to say no. That's not a horrible argument, but it all in the West. The main one was Devin Booker not getting it.
What do you feel like he should have got it over?
Can I see the list?
Oh, my bad. Here, I got you. Here's the list. Come on, get off of that. Can you please just cooperate? My bad. Here it is. Here's the roster. iPad was freezing up a little bit.
The West was tough. So
those are the starters.
I think he should have got it over
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
I'll give Rudy with his 13 points and 14 rebounds. I'll give him his credit only because the Jazz have been the best team in basketball.
Yeah, but they got Donovan Mitchell
that's fine.
there, so he did not need to be on there. He did not need to be there.
What's kind of a little crazy to me, a lot of people are arguing that he should have gotten it over his backcourt partner, Chris Paul. And I feel like Chris Paul really is the biggest reason that y'all are even where you are.
But he only's averaging 17 points. I feel like
17 and 9.
That's not
And
horrible.
17-9, and he's a huge part of the reason the Suns are even
Yeah.
finding themselves in winning positions in most of these
Well,
games.
who do you think deserved it more, Devin Booker or Chris Paul? You got Devin Booker averaging 25. Like, it's hard to look over 25 points a game
No, I will give
on
you
a winning team.
But I do think with All-Stars, there's also a degree of you're a vet, right? And you've been here before. So you're going to get the nod. Chris Paul is an 11-time All-Star.
I think that's the same thing with Anthony Davis.
He's still playing amazingly as old as he is getting. He's still playing phenomenal basketball, and he's keeping the Phoenix Suns afloat. Obviously, Devin Booker is too. I don't mean to say like Chris Paul is doing it alone. But we ain't expecting the Phoenix Suns to be that great, and clearly Chris Paul is doing a lot to help that out. So it's hard for me to say he doesn't deserve to be an
really
All-Star.
is Rudy Gobert. Like, I'm sorry you average 13 rebounds a game.
What you got to say, producer? I want to hear it.
So we gonna act like Paul George should have been on the list.
Paul George has actually been playing
He's
really
having
good
actually
basketball.
a great season this year.
You know, I love Paul George. I'm actually a fan of his game. I love the way he plays basketball. But I will
Paul George
talk
definitely
the
should be on
most.
All-Star.
After the game between him and Devin Booker, and you still want to put
I will talk the
Okay.
most
The
trash
game last
about
season?
Paul George.
Yes.
That was last season for one, and for two,
what else is it built on, sweetheart? The season just started.
On this
All-Stars
season.
just because of right now. Come on now.
they
No,
are.
Paul George is averaging 25, 5, and 6.
Paul George was the reason.
He has
Doc
been
lost his
phenomenal.
That ain't got nothing to do with All-Star.
And Doc
You're
should
being
be
petty right now.
Doc should be calling him, thanking him, because I'm out here out east with a real MVP candidate, and I'm winning
very
games.
petty, producer.
I love to talk shit about Paul
Paul
George.
George definitely deserves
One
it.
of my
It's
favorite
not even a
pastimes
question.
is smoking that PG pack. But he's definitely playing like an all-star this year. He does deserve it.
Yeah.
Him, I mean,
It's a
he's
couple
been
people
phenomenal.
that's out there playing and deserving an All-Star spot. But let's
I
not
can't
act
knock
like he
Paul
didn't just
George
get
this
a
year.
nod too.
I can't knock
He
Paul
didn't just
George
get a
this year.
nod this
No,
year.
he's
actually
really
playing
been
well.
hooping.
He's a reason
He's
why
really been hooping.
they're one of the
Him
top
and
two,
Kawhi
three,
have
two.
been killing it this year.
They
Kawhi
have been.
averaging 27, 5, and 6. He averaging 25, 5, and 6. They snapping right now.
How much is he averaging every time he get a coach fight?
Anyway,
Yeah,
there's a
very
lot
petty.
of coach
It's
killers
Rudy
out
Gobert,
there,
bro.
If
Rudy
we
Gobert
talk
should
about
not have made
if
the
coach
All-Star
killers don't deserve All-Star games, LeBron shouldn't have been making All-Star game the last 7 years
Duh.
because he didn't kill a couple coaches. He got bodies.
Duh.
Who else should be on the
So in
coach
the
killer
East,
list?
the East is
James Harden shouldn't be out there because he got what's his name? He got Kevin McHale out of there and Mike D'Antoni. Who else on here? I mean, we could play the coach killer game, but I think it's a pretty solid list out
So
west
you're
for the
only
reserves.
basing it on the averages.
I've watched the games. It's not just the
I've
average.
watched Paul George.
This is
I'm
Mr.
not talking
Averages
about
with
him
Anthony
anymore.
Davis.
I'm not talking about him anymore.
I watched the game.
Because now it is across the board. So you're basing it only on the averages. And you want to knock who out?
Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
Rudy Gobert only averaged like 9 and 9.
Okay.
Rudy Gobert he did deserve to
Soft.
get All-Star season.
I haven't respected Rudy
He's
Gobert
great
since
defensively, but
I have not respected
you
Rudy
don't play defense
Gobert
in the All-Star game anyway. So.
since every time I watch him go up against, especially my dog Russ. How is this man 6'2", 6'3", dogging you, dunking on you, out rebounding you, killing you in the paint? You're supposed to be 2-time DPOY, and you get babied by a little guy. I haven't respected Rudy Gobert in a long time. Anyway, let's go to the East. Let's go to the East reserves, man.
I think they got it mostly right in the East, even though you
Who
missed
are they
Trae
missing?
Young. You missed Trae
Damn,
Young.
they did miss Trae.
And there was somebody else, I think. But you could argue maybe Vucevic shouldn't be in
No,
there.
Vucevic.
But
Vucevic should have been an All-Star way more times. Than
I agree.
two.
That's what I was gonna say. I think
He deserves
his numbers
it.
hold he should probably be an All-Star.
He been averaging 20-something and 10 or 11.
The only
for
argument
years.
against him is that his team not good enough. But
Yeah.
again, it's not a team reward. It's a
Bradley
individual
Beal's an
reward. He
All-Star
averaged
game.
24 and 11, so you can't argue
Jaylen
that.
Brown, I'm really happy to see that he made it, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first-time All-Stars, man. Zach LaVine and Julius Randle. They really deserve it.
And
They
Jaylen
both
Brown.
been playing crazy. Well, yeah, Jaylen Brown, but I feel like it was a given that he should get it. But if you would have said a year ago Julius Randle was going to make an All-Star team, not a lot of people would have been like, yeah, you're right. So Julius Randle
Randle playing like the Julius
He
Randle
been
I thought
balling.
he was gonna be coming out of college. He been a super bucket. I thought he
I
was
feel like
super nice out of college.
I feel like
but he
for the
hadn't
Lakers,
had
everything has worked out. We do have a ring. But some part of you has to look back and say, Julius Randle's an all-star. Brandon Ingram's an all-star. Jordan Clarkson is playing like a 6th man of the year. D'Angelo Russell led a Brooklyn team to the playoffs and had all-star level numbers. We let all 4 of those guys walk away. In the long run, okay, you won a ring, so it's hard to say you lost. But, bro, you had 4 homegrown stars, and y'all just didn't take the time to work that out, let them develop, build. You were just like, oh, you snitched, you're gone. Julius Randle, we'll let you walk away. Brandon Ingram, yeah, well, we want AD, so you're out of here instead of getting rid of Kuzma. You know, so it's just, you have to kind of look at that. And Jordan Clarkson was good since day one as a Laker.
Yeah.
So the fact that y'all just let him get away, that was supposed to be your bench spark for years.
He's gotten better, though.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought he was amazing when he first got there. He was providing solid numbers off the bench and as a starter. But
I got the East. I think they got the East right. You can't be too mad.
Yeah, the East is pretty solid.
Because everybody can't make it. That's the thing. And that's why it's a elite club. You can't expand the roster because it'll be too easy to get into it. So it's always going to be 2 or 3 people that Sabonis is another one that potentially should have made it. He had a better season than last year.
Sabonis.
Yeah, he's having a better season than last year though. So and he made it last year.
Sabonis is still averaging like 20-something, 10 and 4 or 5 assists. I mean, his numbers are ridiculous.
He should have.
So he definitely.
I would argue Sabonis over Trae Young, honestly.
For sure. I think Trae Young's been great, but Sabonis is the best player on that team.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, you got to look at the numbers he's putting up. I watch him very closely because he's on my fantasy team. So I watch what he's putting up every night, and I'm like, damn. Yeah, it always also makes me a little mad because we gave up Sabonis to get PG whenever we did that OKC trade. Yep. Bro, Sabonis is so cold.
He's the greatest.
We could have left Paul George where he was at. But
that's the point.
You look at the Heat.
A
lot of people feel like Jimmy and Bam, but my thing with them, I feel like certain players you have to discount, right? Like some people were even saying like Russ, Jimmy, Bam, they all missed a lot of time with injuries or COVID. It's hard to really throw them in there. Yeah, you know what they're capable of,
and
but
then it's
they
also
haven't
hard
been putting
to
the work
look
in
at.
this year.
It's also hard to look at a player like Jimmy Butler, who's averaged maybe close to 25 at one point in his career. Now he's down to 21. Even though that's still good that's all-star level for some players. If we saw LeBron's gonna make it just because he's super popular. But if we saw like a Chris Paul, well, he kind of made it.
That's the point.
He's popular.
Facilitators.
He's popular. But if you like some of these not so popular players, when they have these down seasons, it's harder for them to make the playoffs. Sure. Or like a DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan has been real slept on this year, actually.
He has been. But even for like DeMar DeRozan, he's averaging just under 20 points. So like in his career,
27 and 5.
When at the height of his career, he was almost averaging 30. So when you see a player like that, who's not the most popular, he's not like a LeBron or James Harden or anything like that, and he's in a small market team now. The team's not in a playoff contender or not a championship contender. It's harder for those players to get that nod from the coaches or even the fans. Because you see, like, their numbers are down, and you're not super urged to vote them in. That's why somebody like Sabonis is more likely to have the same averages, same kind of year, but get it because you're like, wow, Sabonis is doing this good?
Yeah.
He need to be an all-star.
Yeah.
So
I think another kind of shocker is Chris Middleton. I won't say that I'm shocked he didn't make it because he's Chris Middleton. But based on what he's doing on the court, you can argue he definitely deserved it. Basically averaging 21, 6, and 6 on 52, 45, 94. That's a crazy shooting split. He's obviously the second biggest contributor on that team.
I think we just tired of seeing Chris Middleton fold in the playoffs.
In that case, why is Giannis an all-star?
Because Giannis is like two-time MVP. He's like a LeBron level popular.
Should he be a two-time?
No.
Should he be a one-time DPO? Anyway, listen, if we're talking about folding in the playoffs, it's a couple people I can go back and say we shouldn't have been all-stars this year. But I see your point. But yeah, it's hard. Especially, like I said, you think of Jimmy, Bam,
Trae Young, Sabonis.
You think of some of these players, like I said, they just missed too much time. Their teams were down bad. Like, although the Wizards sucked starting this year, I feel like fans and players and coaches alike were like, I'll be damned Bradley Beal ain't the all-star this year.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing this, and he's not getting recognized for it. So this year, he needs to be recognized.
And that's why he was
But for other players, if you missed a lot of time or your team is bad, you can be really great, but it's hard, and there's only so many spots.
Yeah.
So
but you can't say or. It's got to be both. Because what is Orlando doing? And Nikola is an all-star.
No, but I'm saying sometimes your team is bad, but when Nikola has been putting up 20-something and 10 for years now.
He's another
At what
Brad
point
Beal.
are you going to
He deserved
acknowledge?
it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So your team can suck, but you do deserve it.
That's true.
And sometimes your team is good.
Just like the MVP award, it's always very subjective of who get picked. Like LeBron should be it every year, but Giannis is having a spectacular, equally great season. He deserves it. Let him.
Sometimes you can't deny it, and I think a lot of times people make it too much about winning or losing. But some players, bro, like I'm here, but I'm clearly making the best of it. Vucevic has been on a horrible team for years. Danny Ainge, stop BSing. Get that man on the Celtics, please. At some point, you have to acknowledge this man is a walking 25 and 10. Like, we have to give it to him. Bradley Beal, yeah, your team sucks. You're a walking 27 to 30 points. We have to give it to him.
32.
You know? Or some people, your team is really good, but you're going to miss out. It's just a weird thing sometimes with the All-Stars. But moving on, man.
Do you look forward to the All-Star game this year?
I don't know.
It's going to be weird.
I don't really.
Because we were just a couple weeks ago, we were saying they shouldn't even be having it.
I feel like I'm not really
now
looking forward
it's like
to it because I don't.
Going and it's just like, okay.
I don't feel like they're really into it, so it's making me not be as into it.
We'll see.
But,
if they're into it. We'll see if they're into it. We don't know.
Hopefully it's fun.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will see you on the other side.
Ain't you still here while doing that?
No, you can't.
Okay. At the end of the day, he deserves that.
Paul George, yeah.
He deserves it. Darius still hasn't accepted that fact because she's not trying to hear that. She don't feel like Paul George should be an all-star. And to a degree, I get it. But, Paul George, I'll give you your credit right now. I'll see you when playoffs come around. Let's see if you keep that same energy, though. That's all I got to say. Moving on. Next topic. Excuse me. I want to talk about, we were just talking about bad teams. I want to talk about who was bad and has been good, and who was good and has been awful. The Wizards, bro, went on a 5-game win streak. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They just beat the Nuggets. The Nuggets, first of all, they blew it. Last play of the game, they had a 3-on-1 fast break, I think, and lost that game. Why did you go for a 3 to win the game? Get the tie. See what happens in OT. Don't put that type of pressure on yourself.
At the end of the game, they had 3-on-1 fast break.
Bro, it's literally, go back to Twitter. Where'd it go? It was just there. If you go to ESPN's page, I guarantee you it's one of the first things they're talking about.
Nope.
Anyway, it was just on your timeline. It must have refreshed yourself. But yeah, Denver had a 3-on-1 to end the game, I think. Go back. Anywho, I'm gonna just go back to the box score, pull it up. Pull up the stats right now, because them boys is hooping, okay?
The Wizards?
For the Wizards, yeah.
I ain't making no noise, dog.
We're talking about being on the streak right now. We're not talking about noise. You just want to hate because you know my dog play over there, and I ain't trying to hear all that bullshit right now. I'm trying to talk about how my niggas is playing. Okay. Excuse me, late night. Right now, they are sitting at 12 and 18. So yeah, they've been down bad, but they're working it out right now. They're on the outside looking in, but they're getting pretty close, actually. Yeah, those bottom couple seeds.
East is easting.
East is easting. They could very easily take over 7th seed within 2 or 3 games. But over them last couple games, let's go over some of the teams they've beaten. They beat the Nuggets tonight. They did lose to the Clippers Tuesday, but the Clippers were hot. Like, it was crazy. I think Kawhi and Paul George both had 30-something. And it was also coming fresh off a back-to-back. The night before that, they beat the Lakers. They beat the Blazers. They beat the Nuggets last week. They beat the Hornets. They beat the Bulls, which, whatever. So they beat some decent teams. They beat the Celtics and the Rockets. They have actually really been. They've been really clicking.
They've been playing better.
You look at that game against the Nuggets that was on the 17th. Once again, you're seeing Brad Beal do Brad Beal things, 25 and 10. Russ getting that 12, 12, 13. You know how that go. Looking at them against the Lakers, that's when they really was hooping. The night when they played the Lakers, Bradley Beal had 33, 6, and 7. Russ had 32, 14, and 9. They have been gelling like I thought they would to start the season. The season just didn't start the way I think anybody anticipated. They have actually been playing really well together. Rui Hachimura has actually stepped up. Because, we talked about maybe he's too young, this or that. Is he developed yet? He's been showing some flashes. Even in some of their losing games, he's still been playing really well. He had 10 and 9 against the Clippers the other night. Brad had 21, 5, and 7. Russ had 28, 10, and 4. I'm sorry, no. Mo Wagner had 21, 5, and 7. Brad had 28, 10, and 4. Russ had 20, 10, and 9. But like I said, that night, the Clippers was just on. If the Clippers, they were like within 5 or 6 points in the third quarter, and then the Clippers went crazy in the fourth. But they've been playing really great basketball lately down the stretch. So I'm proud of the Wizards. I'm happy. I hope they keep that same energy. I would like to see them sneak in the playoffs. On the other hand, the Lakers, though, they lost
struggling
5 of their last 6, maybe 6 of their last 7.
Struggling, but they don't have AD. They don't have Dennis Schroeder.
Let me ask you, what difference does that make?
AD?
What difference does that make?
That makes a big difference.
You got the best player in the world on your team.
Yeah, but the best player in the world right now is 37 years old.
Well, let me just go over this with you.
He's got the most minutes in the league, averaging the most minutes in the league.
What do you mean by that? No, I'm just...
I just said it twice.
I'm just messing
and other than those two players, they really ain't got no help.
Here's my thing, Josh.
Got Kuzma.
Here's my thing.
Got Caruso.
Here's my thing.
Markieff Morris. They ain't got no help other than you need Anthony. He needs Anthony Davis to win.
Here's my thing.
You see what they did, but the year before Anthony Davis got there.
We're just gonna look at some of the teams they've lost to recently. I'll give you the Jazz. I'll give you the Heat. They've been hot. I guess I can give you the Wizards. They've been hot, but y'all should have beat the Wizards. You really could have and should have beat the Heat. Who else did they lose to in this little losing streak?
Nuggets.
They lost to the Nuggets, which I get it. The Nuggets have been rolling.
They lost to all the best teams in the league.
They lost to the Pistons, too.
They did lose to the Pistons.
They lost to the Pistons. And they almost lost to the Pistons again a week later. They let a lot of teams push them too close. So I think I kind of saw this coming. There was too many games. There was too many games that came down to the last possession or had to go to an OT. Yeah. So you saw it coming, and now they really are struggling. And I understand you are missing Anthony Davis. I totally get it.
That's a huge thing, especially if you're pushing it to overtime. That's huge,
bro. Like they're struggling to close these out without him.
So it's not a huge concern. Obviously,
it's not a big deal.
They're gonna get those guys back.
If you're not a Laker fan, this is fun for you because you get to watch them lose. Especially if you're like an anti-LeBron guy.
They got to be like they stole something last night.
You have to figure something out though, because you can't let the Anthony Davis excuse haunt you. Like you have to win it. If Steph can win with Draymond being his second best, he's missing Clay. He doesn't have KD anymore. If Steph can pull out these wins,
we have a better team than them. Other than Anthony Davis.
Moving on, going back to All-Star Weekend. I don't have time for the bullshit. Let's talk about the dunk contest.
No, I'm being serious though.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Okay.
Zion. No.
Don't take it out of context.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like if you.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
Dunk contest. So Zion has not completely shunned the dunk contest this year.
He kind of said,
he'd probably be the most exciting guy that you can put unless you
Miles
see
Bridges back in it.
Unless you see Miles Bridges.
Have you seen what
he is? Get up.
He is going crazy this year.
Get up.
You know they call him and LaMelo Airbnb.
Yeah, you like that?
I kind of like that. I rocks with that Bridges and Ball. That's tough.
Bridges and Ball.
Airbnb. I don't like how you said it though. Say it
Bridges and Ball.
Bridges and Ball.
Bridges and
They
Ball.
look good. Airbnb. I'd like to see Bridges in it. Zion said kind of like who knows. I feel like you gotta put Zion in it. Don't do with Zion what y'all did with Bron, because Bron should have been in it at one point.
He should have. Definitely did it.
So don't do
Zion
that with
gotta
Zion. Don't let him not get in that dunk
But do
contest.
Zion got the creativity in the air to do it?
That's the bad thing.
He's just gonna have the
power.
Because sometimes, like Dwight Howard was winning it because he was dunking it so hard. Like, or even go back to Dominic or Blake or Dominic Wilkins. He was getting it on his first attempt, but he was just dunking it so hard.
Yeah.
Like, when you hit a rim, poof, or however the rim sound, it's like the dunk don't even gotta be that crazy. But if you dunk it hard enough, you could be like, that's a 10, bro.
That's
like,
the scariest thing.
It don't
though,
even,
you think of Giannis. Giannis dunks with so much authority, and it's disgusting.
Or
right?
Russ.
But like
Russ does it too, but Russ never did the dunk contest.
And that
Russ
pisses me off.
Slaps the rim, and it's just like his dunks don't be, stupid.
It's
but
just
it's just
great.
like,
Nah, but he had one a couple years ago against the Magic, and he came up under it, and he just floated. It's like, oh my God, why is this man not in a dunk contest?
So I think that's gonna
be a dream dunk contest. Him and LeBron should have been in one at some point.
That's gonna be Zion's biggest thing. Is like he can honestly do his cliche. He could do his same dunk, but if he just dunk hard enough, it's gonna be at least be an 8 or 9. It's just like,
and just watching Zion dunk is phenomenal because he's built like a refrigerator and he gets up
and
like
jumps
it's crazy.
High,
But you got to worry about creativity because Giannis, again, like I said, is one of those power dunkers. His dunk contest was ass because there was just no creativity. He didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, but that was before Giannis was a megastar.
Well, yeah.
Zion is already a megastar.
At that point, he just had the bunnies.
It's like he's gonna get treated like Blake Griffin. Like none of Blake Griffin dunks was that crazy. He jumped over the hood of a car.
He jumped
hood over.
Who else jumped over a car?
Like
you just don't like Blake Griffin.
It was that, and then it was the build up that Kenny Smith was doing. But it was a normal
Josh doesn't
dunk.
like Blake Griffin.
No. It was the dunks weren't crazy. The dunks weren't crazy.
Pull it up right now.
No, we're not gonna
pull it up right now.
But all I'm saying is his.
Go jump over that damn Pontiac right now. Let me see you do it.
He jumped over the hood of a car.
Go jump over the hood of that Pontiac.
I can jump over the hood of the Pontiac.
You gonna clear the hood?
Warm up.
Okay, exactly.
We're gonna record it.
Okay, I want to see.
All I'm saying is most NBA players can jump over the hood of a car. Steph Curry can jump over the hood of a car.
Wow, now you're gonna bring Steph Curry into this because
he can jump over the hood of a car. And
go ahead, give me
he didn't jump. He didn't even jump over. He just jumped to the if I could dunk, and the table's right here. He jumped and caught the rim.
I can't wait
over the car.
I can't wait.
If you watch the video,
we're gonna record this. How long do you want to prepare?
I'm not jumping over the hood of no car.
You said it was simple and you could do it. You just
I said most NBA players can jump over the hood of a car
right
and
before
dunk.
that you
the
could
hood.
do
It's
it.
not if he was jumping over the top of the car.
Would you like to see him do it?
I'd like to see it.
I'd like to see it happen.
Well, y'all can see it in hell. Shit. See me jumping over a car.
That's where you gonna be for always being on Blake Griffin's head when he don't deserve it.
All I'm saying is it's Zion's gonna have that effect to where the dunks don't have to be outright. They don't have to be Zach LaVine level dunks. They don't have to be
who else is in the contest.
They don't have to be Zach LaVine level dunks or Aaron Gordon level creativity dunks.
It depends on who else.
He's going to be. It's going to be so hyped. He's going to dunk it so hard. A lot of times, just the impact of the dunk is going to give him like a 10 or 9.
It depends. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It depends on who in it.
I'm not trying to
if you
knock
have somebody, no, for sure. Even though you were, if you have somebody in it that does have the creative wow factor, aside from the fact that he big as hell throwing it down like that, then he could still lose. Yeah. But just off of him being who he is, and for whatever reason, every time he dunks, it's just like, wow, you're right. He gonna get 9s and 10s. I just want to see who actually ends up in it. Because Zach the other day said, I don't think so.
I think we done seeing Zach.
And at this point, I think it's just the selfish part of us as fans. Like, we love seeing him in it because the stuff he can do.
I would like to see Aaron Gordon give it another try, even though I know he's not.
If Dwayne Wade is out there, he's not doing it.
Who else? I don't really even know. Dennis Smith Jr. is somebody that came to mind.
Who else?
Dennis Smith ain't even.
But the craziest play just happened last week, and it was a dunk.
Oh, Anthony Edwards. He got up.
Damn.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That hurt.
Maybe
I would have been like, Coach.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
So
Sub me out.
I would have stood right
no,
up.
y'all can give sub out my contract. I don't even want to
Hey.
play no more.
Nah, I said he should have.
G League got a spot. I go down
Into
there
the
and work
locker
on my
room,
game
man.
a little bit. I'm walking out. Hey, coach.
That done by himself earned him
Hey.
an invite to the All Star.
I'm walking to you on the bench, right? You got your towel. You in, boy. I'm gonna go sit for a minute. You got it. Hey, Starks, when you gonna, man, coach, I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. You see what he just did to me? I do want Anthony Edwards, Miles Bridges, Zion.
Miles Bridges will be good.
That's
Zion.
3. What is it typically?
4.
5? 4?
It's 4. 4? It's 4.
I don't know.
Let's
Let's say 4. I don't know who
it's
I would
4.
throw in
It's
that
4.
4th spot.
Who could potentially?
Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, I don't know if he got the flair. Maybe like a big
Jokic.
Jokic. I don't know.
He athletic, he's fast,
I
he's
jumped out
powerful.
higher than him. Okay, let me stop.
Josh can jump higher
Billy
than
said
Jokic.
this nigga can't even dunk. I can't.
But he can jump over a car.
I just said I can jump over a car.
I think if we
This
roll
is
the
what
footage back,
happens
you did.
in conversation.
It was a
and
slip
I
of
need
the
a
tongue.
recording.
Okay.
This is a slip of the tongue. I didn't mean that. Can't jump over the damn car.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, that would be cool. That would be cool. Blake Griffin, if you
But if
wanted to
that's the
just get
case,
some.
he should have done it. And I think he knows he can't.
Blake Griffin don't really jump out the gym. No
It's still
more.
his rookie year. Ben Simmons can do it.
I can't think of nobody else for real. But
I
those are
don't know.
good. Those are 3 good ones. Dennis Smith, like I said, Dennis Smith, he was disappointed when he did his All-Star game, though. So.
Yeah, what happened? He missed it. Like,
Who, Dennis?
yeah.
He just kept missing.
Yeah, he wasn't hitting them. Derrick Jones Jr., I guess, could jump back in there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he could. He could try one more time, and then I'm tired of seeing him too.
That's true.
I don't know. Honestly, let's just move on from that, man.
Really?
Because that's tough. Who knows if they'll even do it? Now we gotta talk about Boogie.
What's up, Valden?
Blame it on the Boogie. You know what I'm saying?
He called it. He said next topic. Yeah, we not doing it.
Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, he on the same page with me there. Man, if you are a team in the NBA right now, are you picking up the phone to call DeMarcus Cousins? And if you are, what team are you?
Boogie. I don't even really know what his averages are. Let me look this up real quick. Do you need to know?
They're not like mind-boggling, but they're not bad.
I don't know. He would just be like an off the bench piece.
The fact that you Googled this man as Boogie Cousins and not
I wasn't gonna
his government name.
I wasn't gonna spill his zero. So he's averaging only 9 points and
Marcus.
7 boards. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, his last 2 games were okay.
He's had some decent games.
That's some decent games.
If you look at the rest of the regular season, he has had some decent games. So it does kind of suck for Houston to just be like, never mind. And also, it's not like you have any other options. Christian Wood ain't even
tough.
playing right now.
It's tough for Boogies. Yeah, I was surprised. that they actually letting him go. Because he was, excited about playing with John Wall. But I guess it just didn't work. He doesn't have the explosiveness anymore.
Sad, bro.
He's kind of just a jump shooter, really, at this point.
Yeah. You think Lakers gonna try to pull him back in?
Lakers don't look like they want to get him. Heat, maybe.
I can see it.
Miami. Maybe I will potentially. The fan in me, kind of like the fan in Boogie wants to say the Warriors. I would like to see him try that again, but I just don't think they got bigs.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's necessary to add Boogie Cousins again this season. It's tough.
I've seen.
It's tough. It's kind of
Toronto.
It's unfortunate.
Toronto is another one of those
how
teams
his career has kind of transpired.
You just hate that Achilles for certain players. Like
the Achilles.
Kevin Durant could bounce back from that Achilles.
Worst, yeah.
But somebody like Boogie, your whole
And then
game
the
is based
ACL
off of
before
being
that, or after
huge.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and just bullying
It's
people.
tough.
That's not gonna translate well. Whereas when Kevin Durant is just solid jump shooter all day, he can bounce back from that easier.
Yeah.
So you do hate to see it happen to Boogie. I've seen people say Brooklyn.
Brooklyn might make sense.
I think
just because they need body. I think
if
Brooklyn. It makes sense for Brooklyn to sign any and everybody.
If you're Brooklyn, though, I might wait. I want to see what's up with this Andre Drummond situation.
they could take both.
You
That's
can
what I'm
still-
saying. They need bodies.
If you can get him for a fair price,
That's
and
gonna be
still
minimum.
not-
He got to take league minimum at this point.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how did that Houston contract work out? I wonder, as far as the money's concerned.
I'm sure they got to pay the rest of the
But
money.
then, of course, too,
he
people
can
are talking
sign
about-
anywhere for any amount.
Yeah.
So they gonna get him league minimum. He's
Minimum.
I just looked and said he making $16 million. Oh, that's 2017. Never mind. I was gonna say it seemed like a lot. He's got two. Says the rest of the season. They got a guaranteed contract for $2.3 million from the Rockets. So they got to pay him
Oh, yeah, so
$2.3
he take a
million
vet
dollars, and then he gonna take minimum for whatever team he signs. So it really don't. The money's not gonna really be the issue for him. It's just gonna be if anybody actually wants to.
It's the fit.
deal
I think everybody
in the
screams
fit.
Lakers.
And that's why I'm thinking the
I
Nets.
don't feel like the Lakers would do it.
For the Nets, it makes sense just because they need bodies. So they're gonna need. He's gonna come off the bench, and they'll just be an extra body. Or Boston.
Mavericks, I hadn't thought of them. We talked about how they could use some size.
Some toughness.
Some toughness, yeah. The Spurs. I would have liked him on the Spurs as the old him. I would have liked to have seen what Pop could have done with old Boogie.
Yeah. That's true. In Toronto.
Toronto has been up there, yeah.
Was Nets on there?
No, the
Yeah,
Nets
the
actually
Nets,
weren't on
okay.
here. Of course, I think as fans, we tend to read too much into stuff. But I saw some people like, ain't no way he would go to the Nets because he was beefing with James Harden. Talking about how he was toxic and woo woo woo. I'm like,
I think.
I
he
also
wants
don't
to
think
play
these
with
guys really care. You're going to get me another ring. I could potentially walk into another ring with you. And again, it's one of those scenarios. You have a hole. You have a spot that is, you need someone like me. And I, stop it. And I can help you. We can mutually help each other. I'm going to stop talking.
But yeah, it's
I feel like you're right.
Again, it's
just not-
unfortunate what's going on with Boogie. But that's all we got to say about that. So moving on, is it time for Petty Betty of the Week? It's time for Petty Betty of the Week. So, Rev Rowe, who is Petty Betty this week? Billy said the Hornets, by the way. That's a young team. That doesn't make sense for me.
They're good. They're good. Well, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First and foremost,
Oh, Darius said Ja for the dunk contest.
shit. Yes.
Ja would be good.
Yes. I would like that.
That would be good.
I would like that very much. I want to focus on my
Ja's a bucket, bro.
crazy bounce.
He is stupid good.
Yeah.
I love his game.
I got to see him play against the Lakers last year. And I was impressed.
He's stupid good.
And they whooped the Lakers. Like, it just wasn't even close.
I love Ja.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ja.
I'm gonna give it
Got a
to.
dope name too.
I'm gonna give it to Naomi Osaka. Right, it's her last name, Naomi Osaka. I just love how classy she is, and like she just wins with such grace, and she's so sweet. You know, she's a young girl. She's real like nice about everything. But it's like I feel like you're being an asshole on the low end, but you cover it up with being so cute and nice. Like I'm not gonna take it offensive.
She got that millennial arrogance to her.
She got the nice nasty down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm being real cute and nice per my last email instead of saying, clearly you can't read. You know, she'd be real sweet about it. So the other day, right? She won her match. And she's like, do you prefer to be called Jennifer or Jenny? And the girl says Jenny. So Jennifer, I was like, why did you ask? Because you clearly...
Damn, she did that? I did not see that.
You didn't...
No.
I wanna come. Do you like to be called Jenny or Jennifer? Jenny. Okay. Firstly, I wanna congrat Jennifer. We played in the semis of the US Open. First.
Why did you just ask her?
That's
Jenny
petty.
or Jennifer? Jenny.
I don't know.
Okay. I'd like to congratulate Jennifer.
That's petty.
Bro, why did you ask me?
Wow.
Like, if you weren't
That's
going to
petty.
listen to what I just said,
That's
you
petty.
know what I'm saying?
No,
Funny
that's
as
petty.
hell.
I don't know if she did it on purpose, but that was petty.
It just felt...
I think she did that on purpose.
Bro, okay, look, hold on. Real quick, I'm taking a break from Petty Betty. 3-on-1 fast break. They were only down 2. Look at this.
Oh, you dummy. You stupid. They all ran to the 3-point line. That's horrible. Today's basketball, I sound like the old head. Today's basketball, that's ridiculous.
And all you had was Brad Beal out there, Jamal Murray running.
Nobody ran to the
First of all,
get the 2 points.
Why didn't you swing it to? If you was gonna be dead set on shooting the three,
Just
Michael
shoot
Porter Jr. was in the corner. Swing it one more time and hit Michael Porter. He's been pretty good from the corner.
No,
If you're gonna force
Jamal Murray should not have stopped the 3-point line. The whole team stopped the 3-point line.
No, Brad kind of closed out. If I'm Jamal, though, I'm still taking it. I'm gonna go down fighting. I'm a bucket. Anyway, I wanted to give it to Naomi, but also
there was somebody else that I seen. Who was that, baby? You remember what I said it was Petty Betty? What video was we looking at? It was somebody. I don't know.
On a less funny note, I think Petty Betty should be. Let me not screw it up. Ibrahimovic. How do you say his first name? Zlatan?
Oh,
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan. Yeah.
Why he gonna say? He basically said, "Shut up and play sports if you're an athlete." Basically, he said he feels like you screw it up whenever you try to get all political and everything after you get your platform. So he, for whatever reason, was commenting on LeBron, and he just kind of felt like, do your thing. This is what you're good at. Just do that. I feel like you just shouldn't say anything political.
That's a little ironic considering most of what they do, they still send money home and try to fight whatever political war goes on in their countries.
I expect more from you as an athlete.
I don't.
And somebody that has a huge platform. I just don't see why
he's a great, you love him as an athlete.
He's an arrogant.
You can already tell,
asshole of a person, clearly. But
he's not the nicest or the coolest.
Why would you even feel the need to express that?
No disrespect.
He's cold. One of the GOATs for sure, but why didn't you just keep your mouth shut?
I'll say that.
You could have just stayed quiet. Because you sound just like all the Karens out here, just shut up and dribble, don't do this, don't do that.
That shut up and dribble stuff is
you're
even
feeding
as a
into it by saying,
I hate that. Don't ever say that to nobody.
That's feeding into it by agreeing with it.
That's so disrespectful.
I just don't feel like you should say nothing. Shut up. Shut up. Petty Betty usually is a funny thing, but I just had to throw that out there because I feel like he should have just shut the hell up. Yeah. Speaking of shouting, man.
Today I'm going to be speaking of shouting, man. If you got you a girl, you got you a wife, a woman, a girlfriend, love on them tonight. Show them some love, rub their feet. Do all that good stuff, man. They deserve it, especially these black women. So yeah, just show your love. It is still the same month of Valentine's Day. And our women deserve our respect and our love. What you do? They deserve all of the roses that they put up with a lot. So yeah, just loving your ladies tonight. So, and for the rest of the week, for the weekend even, love on them. That's all I got to say.
You was an old simp. No, I'm just playing.
That wasn't even me simping at all. I was just
that was beautiful.
That's
man.
no different than saying love on your mamas and you love your family.
It's a little different.
It's a little. That's not what I meant. But it's show love.
What do you mean by that?
I know what I mean. Billy said nigga try to get some ass tonight.
Clearly.
It literally ain't got nothing to do with that.
It's working.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. But I was thinking about that on the way here. Just want to tell people love on your ladies tonight. They deserve it, and they all do because they all put up with us in whatever shape, form, fashion that is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That was great. I appreciate that.
I mean, y'all gonna obviously skew however y'all want to, but
I haven't said
that was
anything.
very genuine.
That was I see it. No, I'm gonna do my speaking. I want to speak a shout.
Especially with the way she been acting today.
It's been a day, y'all. It's been a day. That's why we so late with it. I want to give a special shout out with my speaking of shouting to my personal GOAT, my favorite. What's his name, Josh?
Russell Westbrook.
You know what that man did? You know what he announced?
Oh, yeah, he announced that he's opening middle school and high school in L.A. That's tough.
Big dog things.
And he producing the Black Wall Street in Tulsa documentary on...
Big boy things.
Yeah, shout out to Russ, man.
That man gets the most hate.
Even though you never win a championship.
He doesn't have to win the championship.
No,
because his work as a philanthropist is it's killing.
It is.
It's killing.
I'm just talking.
His on-court resume is going to get him a Hall of Fame entry.
Anything I say about these basketball guys is strictly basketball.
It's certain stuff. Like Russ, he likes to shit on just mostly to screw with me half the time. But like Blake Griffin, he just genuinely hates as a human being for some reason. We'll unpack that at a different day.
He was a part of the Warriors-Clippers rivalry, and I just never thought he was that good. He may be a great. I'm sure he seems like a very great guy.
He's funny.
He seems funny. Yeah, he seems
He's
very
funny as hell.
Comedic, and I love funny people.
You know, quick side story.
One reason we're friends.
I was in Oklahoma once, and there was this Walmart over by my cousin's apartment. We would be in that Walmart like every other day, it seems. I left Oklahoma, came back home. The next day after I got home, my cousin went back to that same Walmart. Guess who was in that Walmart? Blake Griffin.
Should have gone.
Where were you at 2 days ago when I was just in that Walmart, Blake? But anyway, back to Russ.
Chris said we done got old.
Man.
We the same age as you, Chris. You older than us.
The gays in the streets.
Huh?
Nothing. Anyway, you remember he would be saying that on Xbox?
No.
So you don't remember that?
Who?
Never mind. We'll talk about it. Anyway, Russ is up in the middle and a high school. I just think that's
I'm
real
talking about
huge.
Chris. You know what I'm talking about? Chris Busby.
Oh, that's Chris Busby.
Yeah. You thought I was talking about Chris Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was talking about.
No.
You do look like Billy. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it.
He said your afro the same size in high school.
Wow.
No, that's fair. I just started growing it back out. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. Every now and then. You got to come see us more often, Chris. We be out here clowning a little bit. But, yeah, man, shout out to Russ. I think that was huge. Opening schools. You know, you hit one of those, LeBron, hold my beer. You know, I got you. I'm going to do the same thing for my hometown. Yeah, so I thought that was real tough. So shout out to athletes using their platform to not just shut up and dribble, but to also impact their communities and help the families around them. That's all I got.
Yeah, shout out to Russ. You deserve the roses. We appreciate that. More players should do that.
And he been hooping lately. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
we'll holler at y'all next week.
Good,
and next week we won't be as late.
Peace.